Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my all enthusiastic Shavian and guest. Words can make you and break yours. We need vocabulary for listening, speaking, reading, writing, everything. The way people talk is the best indication of how they think. It is the most powerful instrument to influence the person. While welcoming each panelist, I will indicate timings in my virtual background. If your time's going to be over, I will display times up virtual card. Now I would like to invite Coach Sandra Almeida to introduce keynote speaker to the audience. She is a coach, moderator, speaker, social media promoter, team member, associate director at Smarties. Before she comes to the screen, my dear Shavians, are you ready to fight with Coach Ashar? I need your voices. Are you ready? Yes. Coach Sandra Almeida, over to you.
I am today's prime mover, Coach Sandra Almeida from Maharashtra. I'd love to invite a person who is really down to earth as today's guest of honor. And he is none other than Coach English 𝐬𝐴𝐶𝐻. He has been a moderator for English grammar session on Thursday, as well as he has played other roles, like he has been training for IELTS in 𝐿. He has completed a diploma in BA in English, as well as BA in English language teaching. He has a degree of master's in arts in teaching English as a second language. He is master's in TESL and IELTS. What to say about this person? He is a scope card holder in 𝐿. He is very attractive personality with captivating smile and a positive attitude as well. Very practical, very sensible and realistic. So please help me to invite today's guest speaker, Coach English 𝐴𝐶𝐻 sir, on this particular platform. Sir, the platform is now open for you to spread your seeds of knowledge. Everybody, please bring your hands together to invite Coach English 𝐴𝐶𝐻. Welcome, sir, and over to you.
Coach Sandra, and I have no words to express my thanks to you, actually. By the way, I must also express my great gratefulness to Rambabu sir. Besides being a teacher or communicator, English-related things to the world, he himself described as an egalitarian. So he has actually given the host and guest role to people from one country, which is a neighboring country. This is actually a kind of a personality everyone should be, to treat all the people in an egalitarian way, in an equal manner. So being an egalitarian is another identity for 𝐶𝐻𝐵. We are proudly 𝐶𝐻𝐵. Now, let's move on to the topic. So tonight we are going to be looking at how we can improve our vocabulary as English learner, and also as English teachers. We will get an idea of what are important things every English teacher should know when teaching vocabulary. So this is going to be a very important session tonight for all English learners, teachers, and those who are interested in English. So am I just going to be talking on the topic? No. The answer is absolutely no. This is a reflection, or this is a finding, rather this is a conclusion of one of my own academic research article. Going to be discussing the findings I brought up in an academic research that I conducted on this very same topic. So, right, vocabulary. What do you people think of vocabulary? Why do we need vocabulary when we study English or a second language?
Actually, vocabulary is like a ornaments. You see, when we are speaking, so just we are giving the good look, we are enhancing the language. So there it helps a lot. It's like a ornaments. We are dressing the language beautifully.
Exactly. That's a wonderful thing. Neelu, madam, she highlighted the importance of vocabulary in terms of speaking. What about reading? What about listening? What about writing and other skills? Does vocabulary really contribute in reading? What do you think of it?
Every field, even writing also.
Exactly. Yeah.
Plays very important role. Even in listening also, even reading also, everywhere it plays very important.
Right. Without vocabulary, we cannot actually give proper or appropriate meaning what we exactly intend to express. So vocabulary is a very important thing everyone should be very aware of. And when we learn or teach vocabulary, there are some important aspects that everyone should pay attention to. When we take a new word, say, for example, today I used the word egalitarian. Egalitarian is the person who believes in being equal or treating everyone in an equal manner. So if we take this word as an example for our further analysis, so when we take a word, we have to first look at the spelling of the word. Unfortunately, English words don't always correspond to the spelling. It is really unfortunate. So when we write sometimes different letters, but that sound differently. So the letters are on one hand is supposed to be pronounced in one way, but it is practically pronounced in a different way on the other hand. We have to really pay thorough attention on the spelling of the word, whatever word we have taken to study. That is the first thing. So spellings do really play a very big role. You can see there are some silent letters in English. There is a combination of letters to make one sound. Like if you take O-U-G-H, though there is G-H, that is not pronounced, that is only read as O, right? and sometimes AW is read as O and OW is read as OW or A. For example, how do we read this and this? How do we read this and this? It does also matter with pronunciation. It is not only about the spelling, but it does also matter about the pronunciation. This word, how do we read this word?
Dawn.
Dawn. Okay. And how about this word?
Down.
Down. Why don't we read this down since it has A?
Down.
Right? It's strange, isn't that?
It's totally different than down.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's totally different. But the letter represents completely the way other. We are supposed to read this as down and this as dawn. But we read it the other way. Isn't that? So we read this one as dawn and this is down.
Yes.
These are something we should actually pay more attention when we look at the spellings and pronunciation. And how about this word?
Wonder.
Wonder.
Yeah.
This is wonder. And what is this?
Wonder.
Wonder. In American English, that could be wander. But in British, they pronounce it wonder. What are you wondering about? Where are you wandering? We are wandering around. So this is wonder, but this is wonder. Strange, isn't that?
Yeah.
So we have to, whenever we are teaching or learning vocabulary, we should firstly pay attention to the spelling, as we earlier also discussed with OUTH and kind of letter combinations. There are digraphs and trigraphs. Two letters could be differently read. 3 letters could be differently read, and so on. And second important thing is that the pronunciation. The pronunciation is a very super very important thing. Everyone should really pay attention to. Sometimes some people pronounce some words which can lead to a different meaning. It can even be dangerous to say. We have to really be very attentive on pronunciation. That doesn't mean, so I do clearly not mean to pronounce or sound like English. We can do pronounce our own accent. If you are an Indian, so we have Indian English and the pronunciation that belongs to Indian English. And Sri Lankans, we have Sri Lankan English, and we also have a different set of pronunciation. So that's absolutely fine. But it doesn't mean we can duplicate or we can jeopardize the sound. For example, if we take these 2 words, how do we pronounce this word and that? This is west and this is west. Right? And this is west and this is west. So when I was also doing the promo video, it was vocab wo. This is vocab, and this is wo. So, well, those 2 sounds are really practically applied there. So we need to be careful with this kind of things. But other than this, in India and Sri Lanka, read this word as think sometimes. Think with tha sound. That's okay. We say this one as thanks, That's also fine. We can say that. And this is vehicle, though this is vehicle, in RP pronunciation, we say it vehicle. That's okay to say that. And third important thing is that whenever we take a word, we have to look at different types of the word. For example, one word, if you take one word, that can be of different types. If I take this word, here, what word class is this word? Here, this is an action, it's a verb. This is an adjective. This is an adverb. This is a noun. So one word can mean differently when it differs in its type. So these two words, for another example, this means differently. I can make it a bit more clearer. I'm doing well. So this is an adverb, whilst this is
Noun.
a noun, right? So when the type of the word differs, the meaning also goes differently. When we are teaching or learning vocabulary, we have to, in our third step, know or learn the different types of particular word and the meaning of the word according to the type of the word, right? So mainly, majority of the people, when we ask a teacher what does well mean, depending on the mood or depending on the context, the teacher would say it is either the place where we collect, where we fetch water, or he would say, well is an adverb, we are doing well, all is well, 3 Idiots, all is well. Haven't you watched the movie 3 Idiots? Amir Khan says, all is well, that's well. So the explanation is over. But he doesn't understand what actually the noun well means. If we are teaching a vocabulary, we have to explain our children how meanings differ according to word class or word type or parts of speech and kind of thing. In our third step, we are looking into two different things. One is the different types of the word, and the second thing is the meaning according to the word type. And that's one thing. So these are four most important things when we learn or teach vocabulary. These are the main four different important things. The fifth thing, which is also super very important, that is authentic examples of the word. Examples. What I mean by authentic examples, I'm going to discuss about vocabulary. Majority of the people do say discuss about. Unfortunately, that is because of the reason that we have not studied that word in an authentic example. We have never taken any authentic example when we were learning this word. But if we had taken an authentic example from an authentic dictionary, then there wouldn't be a mistake of this kind. And also, people say I'm going to describe about the incident. How about this sentence? Is this sentence correct?
No, you take the word about out.
Yeah. So we don't say that. But in natural context, many people do say describe about in Southeast Asian context. Right. These are some mistakes that people make only for the reason that they haven't learned these words from their authentic examples. So they have never referred to a dictionary to see how this word is used in the dictionary. So at least if there is 4 different types of one particular word, we have to take all these 4 different types of the word and take at least 2 example sentences per type. This is one thing. And another thing is, in terms of examples, let me take work, the verb work. The verb work, when we use the verb work, work at means one thing, work in means one thing, work for means another thing, and work with, work on, work as, work under, and so on. So each of this prepositional combination has different meaning. So we cannot say work at Mr. Rambabu. But I can say I'm working for Mr. Rambabu. Or I can say I'm working with Mr. Rambabu. So that's a great pleasure for me. Though, and so on. So these kind of prepositional combinations are also important. I don't want to use more linguistic term here, and that's why I said prepositional combinations. So this is also a very important thing that everyone should pay our attention. The word tree, or the word family. For example, if a person takes the word work, work as verb means one thing, and it can also make some different words like these kind of prefixes and suffixes should also be given proper importance when we learn, when we increase our vocabulary. So these are some of the things we should pay attention to when we learn new vocabulary. And also, there is another important thing is that when we learn verbs, many people do make mistake in spelling and also pronunciation when it comes to the as far as the verb type is concerned. For example, fly, flew, and flown. So some people read this as flew. In some cases, that is correct. For example, no, this can be read as new or new, but not always. So these kind of things are also important to pay attention when we are looking at words. Likewise, the spelling changes that is common for verb and nouns. Everyone should pay more attention, even more attention, to increase their vocabulary in an effective manner. Thank you very much, host Chaturani.
Thank you very much, Coach Ashan, for your insightful and informative session, and also you make good impression among our audience. Now I would like to invite today's reviewer, Coach 𝐶𝐘𝐁. By profession, he is a government school teacher. The screen is yours, Coach 𝐶𝐘𝐁.
Good evening, all the eminent speakers. It's my honor to have such a great opportunity to be reviewer today. Thank you very much, Assam sir, for your wonderful session. Really, you have elaborated this session very well. You have explained how vocabulary is important. And it's really, this is vocabulary war. As you explained that, the tips which we have given over here, the first thing we need to be alert about spelling. Yes, if we make the spelling mistakes, so definitely we can't get the exact meaning and it doesn't complete the sense. So spelling is very important, as sir told us. The example which have been given over here, like a down, DAWN and DOW. What is the differences? Wander, WONDR and WANDR. Really, what is the difference between this word? You have clarified doubts about these two words. And the second thing, it is very important, that is pronunciation. Yes, we should be very attentive about the pronunciation. In most of the cases, people generally make mistake in pronunciation. It doesn't get the exact meaning or what is the speaker want to tell. We can't get if there is a mistake in pronunciation. So pronunciation is really very essential part of the language. And we should be very alert about the new words which we are going to learn. So first of all, we should focus on the pronunciation. The third things which sir has elaborated, that is different types of words. We must have seen that the word is same, but the meaning is different. Like a fast. Sir has also given wonderful examples over here. First, fast. Muslim fast in Ramjan. Fast car. He is driving fast. We should be very aware about this, all the different kinds of words. Last one, that is authentic examples. We need to find out the proper meaning from the dictionary or from any other sources. Like sir has given a really very nice example over here. That is, I am going to discuss about vocabulary. We are not supposed to use about. And the second example is also very nice. That is, I am going to describe about the incident. Yes. So about is not, I think, supposed to use, but generally people make mistake while using this kind of the sentences. At the same, while using the phrase, we should be very alert, because work at, work in, work for, work on, work as, work under. So every phrase has a different meaning. So all things should be very essential while learning language. In my perspective, the vocabulary is the soul of language. Vocabulary helps in effective communication, improve fluency in the language. And good vocabulary makes your personality impressive, and rich vocabulary makes you more perspective. My special thanks to Asan sir for your great knowledge about the vocabulary. And really, it will helpful to all the speaker while learning language. Thank you very much, sir, for your precious knowledge about the vocabulary.
Thank you very much, Coach Gajan, for detailed review.